Okay, I'll be honest, this is not what I was expecting my first scripted video to be, but I need to talk about this, and there's no way anyone in my Discord server will give me the time of day, so you'll have to suffice. These are some of the most insane, unhinged reviews of anything I have ever seen in my life. Like, the doors have come fully fucking off. Okay, so quick explainer. I was just scrolling on Tumblr the other day. Yes, it still exists. And came across an account called Fragrantica Reviewers. And my life has never been worse. No, seriously, I've been ruined by this account. Fragrantica Reviews is an account that has so very nicely compiled a metric fuckload of silly, funny, or insane reviews from the perfume website Fragrantica. And I'm gonna show you my favorites. Fragrantica describes itself as a comprehensive online resource magazine and community dedicated to fragrance enthusiasts. But you're probably wondering what's so damn great about these reviews that somebody made an entire account dedicated to it, and I, some asshole who doesn't know diddly darn fuck about perfume, had to make a video about it. Well, disclaimer, before we get too deep into this, quick content warning. A lot of these reviews are going to contain descriptions of smells. Smells like, for instance, shit, piss, vomit, probably other excretions of the human body. So yeah, if you feel like you're gonna be sick hearing any of these, just proceed with caution. Here's how we're gonna play this.
You will hear information that is not useful.
First, I tell you the fragrance, what it's called, who made it, what they're all about, whatever. Then I'll give you the accords or notes, basically what it's supposed to smell like and what it's got in it. Then we'll read reviews going from mild whatever reviews and getting more and more insane as we continue. By the way, almost all of these reviews came directly from Fragrantica Reviews' account on Tumblr. I didn't curate these myself, she did. I just took them and now I'm presenting them to you. Like a cat bringing a dead bird I caught into your house. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get it. Hyrax by Zoologist. Zoologist is a Canadian-based perfume brand that specializes in making scents that are supposed to smell like, or at the very least remind you of, specific animals. Their website states, at Zoologist Perfumes, our fascination with animals is boundless. Their habitats, behaviors, and looks, their similarities and differences with humans, and even their smells give us a lot to ponder. Hyrax are these little fluffy guys here from South Africa. They're very cute. I mean, just look at the little bottle. Look at his bottle. Look at him. So it makes sense to make a set based on them, I guess. Let's see how Zoologist describes this on their website. Hyrax is a bold animalic scent that blends saffron, pink pepper, whiskey, rose, musk, and African stone. Uh-oh. Let me guess. You don't know what African stone is, do you? Yeah, I thought so. Don't worry. I'll fill you in so you don't look like a dunderhead at our next perfume party. It's Horatio. I know, it's just horrible. Wait, you don't know what that is either? Get a load of this guy. It's shit. It's petrified shit and urine from a Hyrax. And they put that in the perfume. Don't let the cute picture fool you. It's like dirty truck tires that are on fire. First spray was scary, very strong stink. Hyrax, extracting perfume by Zoologist, smells like animal feces in an animal's uncleaned cage at the zoo. I don't smell any other notes that is listed. This is my shortest review on this page, but there really is nothing else to add to that. It had potential to be incredible. The notes just don't come together for me. I smell like my Uncle Ralph, which is not a good thing. Yeah, I like my moped. Sweat, whiskey, and a whiff of the science lab he had out back in a trailer. Childhood in Appalachia. Awful, vile, absolutely terrible. I haven't described one of these zoologist scents until now. I left it on for a few hours and tried to trust the process of it smelling and drying. Never in my life have I ever smelled something so foul. It smells like sewage, fecal matter, piss, and dying animals. I let my coworker try this. They said I've entered a state of rigor mortis. Not only was it terrible, but it somehow became worse over time instead of better. Smelling this brought me physical and mental torment, and I actually gagged. Yes, I do get the poopy nuances.
A warning about Hirasium for the uninitiated. You will read stuff about people hating it and that it smells like pee and poo. Well, it is pee and poo, actually, like the little Hyrax critter. But pay them no mind and tell them to go develop their nose.
The rectum is reticent in this one.
If I close my eyes, I find myself transported into the body of a Hyrax. I think to truly understand this fragrance, I must become a Hyrax. I hated this at first, but it kept drawing me back. I absolutely love it. It provokes a naughty smile or laugh every time I spray the bottle. It opens downright sour and skanky in the most sublime way, but turns into something absolutely gorgeous. I can't really describe it in words. It has to be experienced. Thank you, zoologist. Come on, man.
I am in love with the idea that someone out there thought that it was a fantastic idea to make a perfume that smells like actual shit. Just straight up unwashed ass Max. Simply fascinating stuff from zoologists. But we are merely scratching the surface.
Jasmine at Cigarette by Etat Libre d'Orange.
Perhaps starting with a scent that literally has shit and piss infused in it, and then going to one that's slightly more normal may not be the best move. But while I was doing some light research on this perfume, I came across an absolutely amazing review, and I need to share it with you. First things first though, what is this stuff?
Etat Libre d'Orange is a Paris-based... I probably just absolutely butchered that. Sorry, French people. Just kidding. I don't apologize to French people for anything. Etat Libre d'Orange is a Paris-based perfume brand that describes itself as an ambitious, audacious perfumery. Liberated. Free to create. Free to love and be loved.
It says its juices are composed from living matter that fuses with the skin. Not gonna lie, it's starting to sound like some symbiote shit.
A French snob. Juices that are designed to disturb, to tempt, to touch, and seduce, seduce, seduce.
Yeah, they wrote seduce three times. Well, I guess I have no choice but to jack off. BRB. Wonder what they have to say about Jasmine specifically. Not me, I'm talking about the perfume.
Jasmine at Cigarette is the smell of a woman's skin when she exposes her freshness to the dark seduction of night. A hazy atmosphere. The reminder of a fantasy. Of an indelible trail she leaves on a dress at the break of day, or the intimate memory of the man who made love to her. It is elegance seen in Gainsborough, the woman from the 80s who smokes Chianti cigarettes and wears jeans, and who, with astounding naturalness, claims her sensuality as a right. A trace of jasmine mingled with the so far neglected smell of a cigarette. The Twilight Zone, the band, the addiction.
This sounds kind of awesome, actually. I'll be the first to admit that the smell of cigarettes makes me sick to my stomach because my brother's dad used to chain smoke with his ex all the time, and the smell drove me absolutely insane.
However, that sounds really nice.
It kind of makes me sound like if I use this, I'll transform into like a hot, mysterious woman from like a 1942 noir film or something. How much is this stuff? Never mind.
Insanely curious to see what people say about it, though.
I guarantee that even if you like it, no one around you will. Okay, well, fuck me then. First spray. Like kissing a smoker who hasn't brushed their teeth for a day. And they're fucking gay.
It's a nice fruitiness behind a nasty tobacco. I wore this in the rain and I definitely felt like a more interesting and mysterious person. But please, don't blind buy this.
If a lady wore this and was rude to me, I'd be happy. Not to be untoward, but this scent literally makes me horny. Okay, strap in for this last one, because it's a long one.
This is a review by Big Wet Rat. When I was growing up, I had these very intense neighbors. 3 people. An old woman, Dee, and her 2 adult children, both in their 40s to 50s. The daughter, Kay, had an intellectual disability, and even though she was 45, she was really 4. The son, E, was a heavily medicated schizophrenic, and the mother was the kindest lady I've ever met. I would go around all the time for lunch, and most days after school, I would spend hours sitting on the front porch with E while we drew and painted. And he showed me music and chain-smoked Marlboro Reds and the world's cheapest, shittiest weed you've ever seen. He was a fantastic oil painter and created these brilliant, enormous oil-on-board works that mainly revolved around Christ, dying, dreaming, sleeping, violence, anger, and God. For most of this, I was 6 to 11 years old and loved spending as much time there as I possibly could. Their front yard was a fairy palace. Dee was addicted to buying garden ornaments, and no one had much dexterity, so it was constantly overgrown. The whole house smelled like powder, years and years worth of tobacco that had seeped into the walls, floor, furniture, everywhere. Oil paint, turpentine, Sunday roast, soap, and the night-blooming jasmine that had completely taken over the latticed walls of the porch. Unbelievably, Jasmine's cigarette is exactly this house. It's me, age 8, sitting on E's porch, watching him paint and smoke. I am hunting cicada exoskeletons in the front yard. The jasmine is thick and heady. My clothes stink of cigarettes. Kay is asking me if I'd like to watch TV with her. I lie on the couch covered in oil paint and know that soon I'll have to go home.
Genuinely beautiful. Some of the people in these reviews need to stop writing reviews and start writing professionally. Oh wait, I forgot one.
The Disco Elysium of perfumes.
Yeah, okay, I'm still not convinced this one isn't awesome. Sorry, moving on.
Bull's Blood by Imaginary Authors. Imaginary Authors About Me claims their mission is to conjure and create memories. We believe there is nothing in life more valuable than memories. Bull's Blood describes itself as seductive and steadfast. It is not for the faint of heart, but for the full of heart. What I love about Imaginary Authors is that because they're all about creating memories, they have these little sections like memories this fragrance may conjure up. What memories Bull's Blood might conjure up are late nights in deep leather booths at dimly lit bars, wandering dark alleys in foreign cities, sweaty nights dancing until the wee hours.
Sounds nice. What's in here?
Geranium, Spanish rose, patchouli, black musk, tobacco, sandalwood, bull's blood.
Bull's blood? Okay guys, I know the fragrance is called bull's blood, but that doesn't mean you had to put actual bull's blood in it.
I mean, what kind of sick, twisted motherfucker would even want something like that?
Blood for the blood god. Blood for the blood god. Blood for the blood.
This is not a fresh, clean, and sweet perfume, so don't expect any compliments. I knew I've made a mistake the moment I sprayed this onto myself. The coworker who hates perfume called me stinky.
Halitosis. Would also be kind of cool if you're into roleplay and wanted to go full character as a werewolf or something.
Horrible urine blood opening. Urine, blood, and roses. I'm getting a strong, unpleasant barnyard scent from this as well. Truly awful. Unwearable, especially in public. You've walked into a barn filled with wet hay, and something bad must have happened because the farmhands are pouring sour roses everywhere to cover it up. Creepy. Oh no, they've lit it all on fire and they're throwing patchouli on it to make it worse. Get me out of here! Bull's Blood by Imaginary Authors. All jokes aside, I'm truly offended that they would send something like this as a sampler to me. You know how kids used to drop turds in paper bags, light it on fire, leave it on the front porch, ring the doorbell, and run while you stomp it out? I feel like imaginary authors just did this to me. How dare you?
I can't believe I'm going to write this, but it actually smells good. Yikes. Just from the name alone, I wouldn't even consider buying a sample, just saying. However, I was gifted a sample in 2020, and it actually took me until now to try it. My first thought when I initially sprayed it was, what were you thinking? Because it was very much a pissy metallic fragrance that I detested. I was going to wash it off ASAP, but was distracted. After 10 to 15 minutes, it started projecting a sweet, soapy floral musk scent. As much as I'd hate to admit it, this is a pretty intoxicating fragrance. Weird. I guess my final thoughts on all this is, like, where are they getting the blood? Where are you getting the blood, imaginary authors? Where are you getting it?
Somber by Stranger's Parfumery. Lucky Scent describes Stranger's Parfumery as an experimental brand that offers an astounding and impressive balance. Uniquely composed, surprising scents that are both delightfully creative and supremely wearable, all at an affordable price. All from your homeboy Prenlum Rose, filmmaker, writer, and chemical weapons specialist. I kid, but here's what he himself had to say about it. Founded in 2017, Strangers means a stranger in me, another side of myself that I do not recognize. The main concept is cherish life, joy, misery, memory, and sadness. Nothing wrong with that.
Somber.
It's quite the controversial scent, as it turns out. Looking at the bottle, it seems pretty normal. What does Bloom Perfumery have to say? Ultimately repulsive. You're welcome.
Somber.
It is an example of an extreme artistic perfumery. If you thought Secretions Magnifiques were too much, think again.
Wait, I'm sorry. Extreme? The hell's in this shit?
Champagne, jasmine, mold accord,
Mold accord?
mud, nocturnal animals accord, orris, iris root, pus, rose, sweat, and
Vomit accord. The fuck you mean vomit accord? Oh yeah, lots of vomit. Vomit really is the star of the show. Fuck. No.
yep, straight up fresh vomit. Who would want to wear this?
OMFG gag-worthy and not the Drag Race variety.
Obviously never wear it, out of consideration for others. Striking stuff. As in, it deserves to be stricken from the face of the earth. It's perhaps less painful than smelling pepper spray?
Of unwashed, sweaty male feet, dirty, overfilled festival toilets, sweaty ass crack, something dense, animalic, and poopy. It's a sick, evil shit fest of smells. Oh wait, hey, this one's good. Animalic, vomit, mold, and piss. Truly a unique fragrance. It is straight vomit, and I genuinely think you're lying if you say you love it. This is by far my favorite perfume, and has been since the day I had the pleasure to smell it. My brother told me about this specific perfume, telling me on how it's known for smelling like blood, sweat, sex, and shit. I was immediately intrigued.
I have such a soft spot for Prin that I kind of allow him this indulgence and experimentation, even though it's silly and a ham-fisted attempt at being daring or humorous or whatever it was he was trying to capture. Interesting also to note that the man himself can't stand the smell of it, and when he appeared on Wasp from the Lobster YouTube video, he almost ran away when they were spraying it.
And the interesting thing is this is the more accessible range, so...
Don't spray it on me! Don't spray it on me! Oh my god!
It's interesting that even you say this.
I love the fact that the perfumer is horrified by his creation.
It really smells of farts and cheesy feet.
Oh my god.
I love it.
The fact that even he doesn't like it is crazy work. But can I tell you something? I kind of rock with this idea. No, seriously. Masterful gambit, Mr. Prin. This is modern art in the form of perfume. He really woke up and was like, wowee, I sure love making perfume. What if I made one that was just straight up vomit? And then he did it. And sold it. And people bought it. I would like to point out that at the time of writing and recording this fragrance is currently sold out. So, checkmate, I guess. It's kind of beautiful. Like, genuinely, I love the desire to just try something different, even if it ends up being absolutely vile. You're kind of a scent terrorist for this one, though, Prin. I'm sorry. Speaking of scent terrorists...
Followed by kerosene. You know it's a great sign when a fragrance company is named after something used to start a fire. Kerosene Fragrances is a perfume line created by a guy named John Pei. Apparently, he also has a YouTube channel where he reviews perfume.
So if you're watching this, which you almost certainly are not, sorry John, but you know what you did.
On his website, he says, "My goal for my scents will always follow my 3 ingredients: raw, unique, and approachable. I've always been captivated by scents: gasoline, stamped steel, plastic, trees, earth, and eventually a nameless forage, kerosene."
I would actually highly encourage you to go read his About Me on his website in full. It's pretty cool. I love this anecdote about his bottle designs.
With the scents, I wanted the bottle design to match, so I put my painting talents to work. And little did I know, my factory production background would come in good use. Each bottle will be unique, always painted with high quality automotive paint and clear coat. The result is if a shiny classic metallic Ford collided with perfume. Very cool, John.
But enough of the rigmarole. Why did I say followed for last? What's so great about this fragrance? Well, this was actually what got me interested in these reviews to begin with. The reviews for this fragrance are so descriptive, so out there. I mean, it sounds like horror movie shit. I have to show you. But first, here's what the fragrance is supposed to be.
Followed is actually the sequel to an older fragrance Kerosene made called Follow, described on Fragrantica as the second chapter to Kerosene's earlier composition. Oh, sorry, I meant composition. My mistake. A dense, delicious combination of cocoa, amber, vanilla, coffee, and caramel, iffy. So the point of the name of the fragrance is that it smells so good that you're sure to be followed by other people because they'll want to keep smelling it and shit.
But, however, nonetheless, in any event, contrarily, other synonym for however...
As far as these reviews are concerned, the name followed would prove to be a very painfully accurate description of what this fragrance does to you. It follows you. Forever. Kind of like my ex, hey! Am I right? Am I right, ladies? Come on, you know.
Dude, it never goes away.
This is the worst perfume. Worst. The notes are deceptive.
I just hate it from the first smell.
This has got to be a joke perfume.
They could smell this fragrance before they even entered the car. My entire fucking automobile had its own scent bubble. Smells as expected for the first day, strong coffee/maple fragrance. After the first day, it literally smells like piss.
This scent leaves a precise trail. Everyone knows where you've been and can trace you. You can smell in which closet in the house the perfume is stored, despite me putting it in an isolating bag. A funny story just to say how powerful this is. I was going through my dresser, going through samples, and no joke, just opening the Ziploc bag that this was in, someone who was in the house with me at the time shouted to me from the other room, "What am I cooking? Because it smells good." Crazy. Oh shit.
Easiest way to get school out for a week. Get 5 friends or more to pitch in 30 or so bucks to buy a full bottle. Then the next part's up to you. You can spray it in the vents, spray it on the walls. You can even just break it in your library or main foyer. This stuff is so strong, you'd have school canceled 100%. Honestly, they'd probably have to recarpet and furniture the entire school because this stuff just gets into everything. Someone let me know if you try out this technique and how it goes.
As soon as I got the package in the mail, I could smell the syrup. Granted, it wasn't extremely strong, but it was there. When I opened the bag, it smelled like syrup. Once again, not too strong. But then I unwrapped my samples from the bubble wrap. Within a few seconds, my whole room smelled like syrup.
We'll see how much thicker I am.
I touched the sample, my hand smelled like syrup. Went upstairs, and my grandma said I smelled like syrup. I didn't even use it.
How do you feel? 10 seconds.
After spraying that perfume.
When the cameras aren't rolling, when it's just you, alone, surrounded by syrup.
Edit. It has been a day since I tried it. This is insane. Everything I touch smells like maple. I have had 3 different people tell me that something I touch smells like maple. I feel like Midas, but with a maple syrup touch. Jesus, dude, use this at your own risk.
I usually wear 5 sprays of any fragrance. I had heard many positive reviews on Followed, not knowing the immense smell it was going to emit. I ordered it, and it already reeked from the bottle. I had assumed the bottle broke, but it did not. I wore it the next day to a wedding with 5 sprays, as I usually would, thinking nothing of it. My whole family said I smelled way too strong and that I needed to take a shower. I did, and they were still able to smell me even after washing thoroughly. However, there was no time for another shower, so we had to go to the wedding. Soon after I stepped foot into the doors, tons of people were making comments like, "Who's making breakfast? Ha ha." As I sat down, the smell lingered in the air, and people soon started to get sick of the smell. Eventually, they found out it was me who was wearing it, and I had to be placed elsewhere until the actual marriage began. And finally, the first review that I saw, the one that made me want to look deeper into this account, the one that kickstarted this entire video. Let me start by saying nothing lasts on me. Nothing. My skin eats scent like a Pac-Man eats dots on the screen. Gobble, gobble. Wait, what? No, that's not it. Wait, where was it? Oh, wait, no, here it is.
Violetta Savetta had this to say about Followed. Upon first spray, it smells like the most realistic coffee perfume I've ever experienced. An absolutely divine sweet coffee, maple syrup, vanilla and caramel. It smells like the coziest little coffee shop on a winter's day. Warm, sweet, inviting. However, after a few minutes of spraying this, everyone in the house started asking me if I could smell celery. One person genuinely thought they were having a stroke and started doing the fast test before realizing what was transpiring. It wasn't until I left the room I was in and came back that I started to understand what everyone was going on about. Whilst this smells so amazing up close, to everyone in a 1,000-yard radius, this smells like a mix of celery and curry. Here's the kicker with this fragrance though. If the smell of this gets on anything, such as clothes, carpets, curtains, coats, etc., you'll be getting to know that celery curry silage very well indeed. It does not let off. Not only does this have such a nuclear silage that your neighbors will know you've sprayed it, but the longevity is measured with a calendar, not a watch. Any of you that think you want a strong, long-lasting perfume, you have no idea. You do not want this. Unfortunately, it's so strong that the smell radiates from the bottle. You could just so much as pop the lid off and not even spray it, and somebody in the other room would complain about the smell. Just by the bottle existing in my drawer unused, I had become too scared to use it. It had impregnated every single perfume bottle and decant bottle in my perfume drawer. All of the atomizer plastics and all of my bottles started to smell of this iconic blend of coffee, celery, occurring, and so I had no choice but to sell my bottle on to rid me of the curse. The smell took 3 months to finally dissipate, and I had to throw out a couple of pairs of clothes and a blanket because it didn't matter how many times I washed them, I could still smell the perfume on it. Wearing this in public should be considered as some sort of bioterrorism. The end.
I would like to retract my previous statement about Prin being a chemical weapons specialist and instead give that honor to Mr. John Pegg, scent terrorist. That being said, I'm sure other fragrances are fine. I mean, I hear Follow the Original is pretty good, so whatever. So, that's all for my foray into perfume and perfume reviews. Let me know what you thought of this. This is my first fully scripted video. Huge thank you to Fragrantica Reviews for existing and curating these wacky reviews for people to look at. I really did only barely scratch the surface with this video. I highly encourage you to check out Fragrantica Reviews account on Tumblr, which I have linked below for more shit like this. I also linked all the websites for all the fragrances I talked about today. What did you think though? Would you buy any of these perfumes? Would you buy me any of these perfumes? If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like the video, then don't. Don't lie to me. And if you want more perfume videos, then you're probably gonna be shit out of luck. Or maybe not. This was actually pretty fun. I didn't even talk about the perfumes that just smell like cum. Okay, I love you, bye-bye.